I'm actually quite curious on how well you know the Talos Principle, or even the fact that it's got a new game in its series, the Talos Principle 2, which was recently released. You've probably heard of it, but chances are you've never actually played it yourself because it didn't look all that interesting to you, despite its praise as one of the world's best puzzler games. It may just be the game's marketing and promotion, which doesn't really give it a favorable first impression, or even the premise or the idea of a game being all about puzzles, but you really shouldn't sleep on these titles. The game manages to make you feel clever, philosophical, and even rewards you with the world around you constantly complimenting your success. Ask yourself, what is a person? You are the final robot 1000, also known as 1K, in the future where mankind has yet to return, but robots have begun to display many of the same qualities and mannerisms as humans once did. Comparing the previous title to today, you can see that the narrative is tackling this subject in a more physical rather than questionable way. The game was all about humanity's last remnants being robots. Can robots become human with enough time and development? What makes a robot? When does a robot stop becoming a robot? The Talos Principle 2 is more visually beautiful than its previous version, with superb voice actors who sound and feel like actual humans, with motivations and goals all while coming from sentient robots. They are curious and explorative, but also cautious and fearful of what they might discover on their search through the lost world of self-proclaimed gods. The gameplay is far superior to anything that I could have ever imagined. The level of detail and attention put into several of these levels, some of which have so many different solutions, makes it feel like they outdid themselves. If you're unfamiliar with the variety of puzzles, you'll be thinking about portals quite literally and breaking the laws of nature. You are not limited to a linear path, so you can start at the beginning or even at the end and work your way through each place, or explore the lands that you visit, speaking to each of your companions as you go. The game never makes you feel constrained, and that's what makes it so much fun, especially for me, being able to play at your own pace, feeling the rewarding sensation wash over you as you progress through the way that feels good for you. It saddens me because in the back of my mind, I know it. Despite being amazing, this game will most likely slip through the cracks just like the first game did and end up as the year's most underrated Game of the Year puzzler. People will be aware of it, but will be hesitant to actually take it up and try it for themselves because it doesn't look appealing to them, which again can be attributed to the developer's presentation. I didn't feel like many of these puzzles and questions were frustrating. They felt wonderful to solve and left me feeling fulfilled, making you think and infer on what the solution is, all while being fun while you do so. I'd like to say something. If you're watching this and you're wondering if you should acquire the game or not, trust me, I feel like the developers are actually underselling themselves. I feel like we are taking too much from the developers who have appropriately priced their games at a far too reasonable price, offering hours of engaging and fulfilling gameplay.